Morning.
Good morning.
It's the very last day of Mobile World Congress, the very last day of our TechLounge live stream. The fourth day of the Mobile World Congress. Feels like the 30th day of Barcelona.
You know, it's true, and I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow when I don't have to talk all day. I might maybe go into like some live stream withdrawal.
I actually thought it's Friday already. No, it's Thursday.
It's
I'm
Thursday.
Just, my whole
It's a
inner schedule is completely messed up.
conferences are a huge vacuum. You lose perspective on night, day, time of the week, time of the month.
I got another amazing hot chocolate from this Core i7 coffee machine out there.
Yeah.
That's playing the nice bossa nova sound in the background. Da, da, da.
The real power behind our live stream, Costa Coffee, Core i7 powered.
I'm only drinking hot chocolates. So I had the strawberry vanilla, and yesterday I had the gingerbread, and now I'm doing the cinnamon.
I had the gingerbread yesterday. I'm gonna stick to coffee though, because I
Okay.
want to be super excited about everything that's happening today.
So of course we have a full schedule. It's gonna kick off with Sony at 9:30.
Yes, guys. I am a huge Sony fangirl. So I'm really excited to like talk about all their products, the new Aqua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aqua 4M, M4.
Yeah, M4. Which is interesting because I actually saw a couple of people on the internet accidentally do videos of a Z3.
And calling it the Aqua.
Calling it the Aqua.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Sony is that the US guys don't know, right? Because they don't have the Z3 there.
They don't?
No, they have that Z3V in the US.
Interesting.
Right?
I didn't even know that.
That looks like a Z2, right? So like the Americans actually
And
have
the
a very
Z2 looks like a Z3.
No, it's
Almost.
got the edges that
Yeah,
aren't
that's true.
round. Yeah, no, visually less stunning.
Sorry.
Yeah. Talk to me about Sony. Yeah, so I'm really that's coming up next, and we're ending the day with some of our best friends in the industry. So like just like guys that we always pal around with and see everything. The Pocket Now guys and the Android Authority guys are coming
Yeah.
on, which is always good because they're always fun to argue with.
It's gonna be a packed room.
Packed room. We're all going to be piling on, yelling at the camera.
Yeah. We like 5 or 6 people in here.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
That's why we have all these cubes standing everywhere.
Yeah, so we're all just going to
squeeze
squeeze
2 people in here, and then it's gonna
2
work
on
out.
your lap.
Yeah, it's gonna work out. No worries. So yeah, but let me just check the rest of the schedule.
I know we've got AVG coming on board, and we're going to be talking about security with them.
Oh yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
Absolutely. I mean, there have been some really nice trends in security during the show. I mean, Intel had their True Key solution, which we had Megan on day one at the end of the day. Yeah.
And you're gonna talk to Miriam about the HTC Vive VR.
Oh my God, yeah. No, I'm really glad that we both got that demo because when we got the pre-brief and they're like, you just have to try it. I was like, use your words. Use your words to describe what's going on here. Come on, guys. Seriously. But really, it's one of those things that you almost need somebody to stand there and like act it out. Like just like physically act out what's going on for you.
Especially because the virtual reality headset that
Yes.
wants you to kind of move in a real room.
In a real room. Yeah. So you're
It's-
actually walking around.
It's different.
It's very different. 36 sensors, and the demos are unlike any other VR demo
Yeah.
that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that Oculus had it down, but
Yeah.
Oculus does not have it down.
Yeah.
Not even close, which is shocking for me to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I always like it when I go in thinking it's going to be horrible and I'm going to vomit, and I don't.
So do you think in general that this is the way to go? That this was a very good decision that HTC actually teamed up with the game publisher?
You know, I don't even think that it's that. I mean, the content's coming. The chicken and the egg. Is the hardware there? Is the content there? I mean, we can have this argument all day long, but what I think is different about this solution is that your brain isn't being tricked.
Right.
Right? So, like, as you're moving around virtual worlds...
Well, it is.
Well, it is. But a big reason why a lot of people don't like the experience or kind of feel nauseous or don't want to play it for very long is that when you're moving through the world, the headset's trying to trick your eyes that you're moving right? But with the Vive, you're actually moving, so there's no trickery, right? So you don't feel nauseous. Everything's 100% connected, so you feel immersed within the experience.
I just hope people are not leaving their rooms with the
Well,
Wi-Fi.
no, this is the thing. They have an amazing system to protect you from walking into walls. I mean, it's pretty good, and the visuals within it are like, oh no, the whole thing. Miriam and I will get down and dirty on this topic. Don't you worry. You'll know everything. Like you were wearing the headset. Oh, it's going to be amazing.
So, is this probably like the Star Trek holodeck?
Oh my God!
That's
it's
the
like
one,
the
huh?
holodeck, and I can't even imagine what's going to happen when there's two people wearing the headset in one room.
See?
The internet might explode.
Okay, guys, you can't miss our slot at 1.
Yeah,
right?
1 o'clock. Miriam and I.
Because we have 2 people on there having the experience with the HTC Vive VR, and just trust them, right? It's like nothing that you've ever seen before, and I'm so I was like super concerned about this when HTC announced it. One was like, okay, yeah. But this is on a different level, and I'm so glad that HTC did this. And you know what? I think that this thing could be bigger than their phones, to be honest. If this industry kicks off, the first company to nail it, to combine this with the right content,
Yes.
to create an ecosystem around this, it shouldn't only be in your home. I could think of places like a holodeck hall,
Yeah.
where I could go in and play the latest game in the perfect environment with
Yeah.
other players. People would pay a lot of money
A lot
for
of
this.
money for that.
So, again, you don't want to miss this. This is on a whole new level, and I'm so glad that this is coming from HTC. Seriously, I've been bashing these guys constantly.
Yeah.
It's basically because I love them. I want them to succeed, and
They needed a
I
win.
turned into a local Taiwanese patriot.
I mean, they needed a win for this show.
Yeah,
it's
and
just,
that's the win.
But it's just a shame that it's a product that it's not easy for the press to convey.
Yeah.
How it works and how excellent this really is. I mean, and the fact that it's just a developer edition and they will crisp up the graphics. They are going to work with Steam. I mean, like the first question everyone was asking was like Dota,
Yeah.
right? I mean, but like Steam and Valve is not exactly an easy partner to have. And I mean, I'm sure anyone who follows gaming has probably been like, right, it's Valve.
Yeah.
So I can see how it's also hard for HTC to like try to like move forward and talk about it when like the internet goes crazy. Like if I said Dota 2 on VR, the internet would die.
And you know what the biggest challenge for this VR industry is? That we've seen so many demos of VR things that weren't actually created for VR. We were just using content, we were using games, we were using movies, and just projecting it on this VR headset. And they were coded and created without VR in their
Yes.
minds. And as soon as you're partnering with a company, with a publisher like Valve, that are working on specific titles for this environment, for this technology, it's gonna be completely different. And that's why I really have high hopes for HTC to knock it out of the park.
And I would love it if HTC suddenly went Sony, but Sony's got their own headset, so
Yeah, I mean, okay, Sony has a headset. I think technology-wise, it's a little bit behind right now. They need to work on this in terms of what kind of displays they're using, and especially with sensors. Sony also has like some smart glasses right now.
which are actually pretty cool. Once I
Exactly.
tried those out, I was like, okay, I see they're nice and discreet,
Yeah.
and like for playing sport,
Yeah.
actually, like I see it's niche, but I do see use cases for their product.
But here's and you should talk to the Sony guy when he's on the stream.
Ooh.
Here's the huge opportunity for Sony,
Yeah.
because they're doing movies.
Yes,
They are distributed for
exactly.
movies. And think about VR with movies. I'm walking around in a movie. I have different viewing angles on the
Yeah.
actors. This could be this. Could you imagine Cameron is doing Avatar 2 together with Sony with VR in their minds? This would be like completely different.
You know, if you picked another, I hated Avatar, but if
I
you-
loved it.
hated that movie.
I watched it 3 times in the cinema. 3 times.
I got kicked out of it.
And
At the end, when they were like America, and the guy's like with his suit coming towards, I was like, oh god, it got too cheesy at the end for me.
There was some cheesy patriotism going on.
There
I
was
agree
a
with
little
you.
bit of cheesy patriotism.
No, but there's
No, but the rest of it was fine up
Yeah.
until the end when I was like, oh god, put your American flag away.
Yeah. So here's what I think. If they're creating anything like this, and James Cameron,
James cameraman.
James Cameron would be the right guy to do this.
Absolutely.
The way he redefined 3D cinema by building his own technology, how much time it took to create Avatar, how precise he is. He would be the right guy to be the first one to create the most amazing virtual reality movie in the history of mankind.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and you're totally right. Like just to be able to flip perspectives
Yeah.
and to like be in a room and to kind of like interact in like a third person almost kind of way or like a voyeur
Yeah.
would be really interesting. I totally agree.
And I know that Oculus is already showing some of these movies, like 4 or 5 minutes, almost like a horror movie, right? And well, I'm pretty sure that we will have horror movies in the future that are so frightening that I will never ever get close to a VR headset.
Well, I
can't watch horror movies anyways.
I can't watch horror movies
I'm
anyways.
such a chicken, I tell you that. When it comes to horror, especially, I can watch like something like Saw. Yeah, I like these splatter things.
Yeah.
It's not scary for me. It's just like, ugh.
It's the thrillers that,
Yes.
the thriller.
And when
the,
I
the,
hear
the
when I hear the
suspense.
music, right,
Yeah.
and little kids that are turning into monsters, and the clowns that are not funny anymore after midnight.
Or like The Ring when she comes out of the TV.
Oh my god!
Or like down the Japanese version when she comes down the stairs.
You know what we did with The Ring? You remember this black and white movie that is on this videotape, right?
Yes.
Of The Ring. So I sent it to a friend of mine.
No.
Right, and he was watching, and then I gave him the call. So
This
if you want to
guy.
watch a really scary horror movie, it has to be the Japanese version of The Ring.
Yes, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
The way that she can actually like mutate her body to
Yeah.
crab down those stairs. That wasn't virtual. She did that.
No, in general, Japanese horror movies and Korean ones are
Way more scary.
I watched a vampire movie like 3 years ago in a cinema, or 2 years ago in a cinema, a vampire movie from Hong Kong. It was amazing because they have something. It's in Hong Kong comic strips about a jumping vampire.
Oh,
It's
dear.
kind of floating through the air. It was just so.
So then,
good.
actually, Sony would be the right person to
They
kind of
would
come.
be-
They would
they would
be
be the right
perfect.
persons.
They're in Japan. They have access to all the weird horror
Yes.
show freaky
Yes.
guys, and
And there's a huge
yeah.
scene for this.
There's a
out
huge
there.
scene for this. Yeah.
I like this idea.
I'll tell Sony about it.
And again, I need to come back to HTC. So happy that they did this, and I couldn't try it out myself, but I'm just after I've listening to you and some other guys, I'm completely getting the concept, right? And the concept is right because I know how a VR headset feels,
Yeah,
right? And how it looks
yeah.
like.
Everyone's tried it,
If you
yeah.
combine this with this concept of being in a room and being able to move around, this gets you into a whole new world. And everyone told me that this was amazing.
Yeah.
And this was like nothing else that's available on the market. So I'm getting the concept, and I just can't wait to really try it out. And
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, and it's going to be available consumer by the end of this year, so it's coming.
We already talked about Pocket Now and Android Authority. I would also love to let you know about our friends Varun Krish and Clinton Jeff. Because we're going to talk about the ecosystem in India. Varun is an amazing blogger for Phone Arena in India, and this is one of the most exciting markets right now. It's so dynamic. I've just been to India, and I would love to be on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. But actually, Clinton can't make it.
Okay, so we have Varun.
Yes, we have Varun, and he's actually already talked to me about preparing some content that he wanted to share because he's really excited about how the Indian market is almost affecting the rest of the world, which is
absolutely
which is almost a flip because everyone used to think that the Indian market was just like, I mean, it's huge, it's the next thing, but the way that we were going to put our technology in there, like, you know, like the ethereal Mobile World Congress Week was going to put their technology into there. But now it just seems to be the other way around where they're pushing out trends. So it's interesting the way that changed in such a short period of time.
Oh, absolutely. And in the afternoon, we also have Polaroid over here. Hans Marius, the Vice President of International Sales.
Are you going to shake it for him?
For Polaroid?
Yeah.
Why should I shake it?
Like a Polaroid picture, like the song. No song.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No! Apparently he doesn't listen to modern music. Only German dubstep.
German dubstep?
No,
That's not going to happen.
Okay.
Markus Frost from Motorola will be here, Senior Marketing Manager. It's also going to be a very, very exciting talk now that they got achieved by
Lenovo.
By Lenovo. Guess what I said yesterday on the stream?
Oh no! What did you say yesterday on the stream?
With the first Lenovo guy, I said, remember the days, like 8 years ago, when Lenovo bought Intel?
You heard it here first.
I was like, and he looked at me like, and I was like, what did I just say? I said, oh my God, I mean
Lenovo bought IBM.
The PC division of IBM. I'm so sorry. And it's going to be really interesting. I think what Motorola did in the last 2 years, especially because of what they picked up while they were in the Google ecosystem, this kind of really empowered this company in terms of getting connected to the guys at the Google X Labs. It's going to be really interesting to see what's up the road.
Absolutely, and the fact that when I was in Beijing last year to go and visit Wuhan, actually their brand new smartphone fab. So I mean, like now Lenovo has the ability to scale up to 100 million handsets in 1 year right? And this is like one of the first times that like they've actually had that ability to scale that high, and now they have Motorola. I mean, it's getting quite interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
For this duo.
It turned them into the number 3 on the market, and what you can tell, I mean, with the Moto X, the second generation of the Moto X, what they did, what kind of momentum they started with the Moto 360. And, but especially, I think the most interesting devices that Motorola brought to the market are, basically, they did an Android One before Android One came to the market with the Moto G and Moto E. And those are the most amazing premium OEM Android handsets below $150.
It's true. Yeah.
And they're very successful with this all over the world, and I'm still recommending them. If you only want to pay like $150 or 150 euros, or maybe even 100 euros or $100, get one of the Motorola's. You can be sure that you always have the latest Android. It's a great vanilla experience, and the devices are great.
No, I told my dad to get the Moto X 2014 for his new handset. Yeah, absolutely. I'm recommending it for sure. Yeah.
So we also have, we have more guys from Pixar, from Intel. I was just close to say from lunch. That's at 12. That's at 12:30.
Actually, maybe today we might get lunch.
So it's going to be really, really exciting. We're going to kick it off with Sony. This will be roughly about an hour. While I'm having an interview, Nicol and Miriam will be your hosts. I'm heading over to SAP for an interview.
Awesome.
And let's see what they have in terms of big data. And then I'm going to be back with Chris Wire, the CMO of Uvu. Uvu is going to be quite interesting because we're talking about avatars. Uvu.
Uvu.
Okay.
Exciting.
Guys, we're going to have a break of roughly around 10 minutes or so. And then we're going to be back here on the stream with Sony and Stephen Sneeden. He's a product marketing manager. He'll tell you everything that you need to know about the new Xperia Z4 tablet and the new Xperia M4, the Aqua M4.
Aqua? Yeah, the Aqua. Mm-hmm. The Aqua?
The Aqua.
Sorry, Fred, I need the microphone.
So Nicole and Miriam will be back on the stream. I see you soon.
Mobilegeeks coverage of MWC 2015 is powered by ASUS.
When you talk about mobile apps in Asia, which is a big topic, I think that one of the more salient themes is probably mobile messaging. And a lot of people, I think, in the States don't really realize how powerful the concept of mobile messaging really is and the potential for owning the messaging real estate. In the United States in particular, I think since most people have phone plans where text messaging is free, people don't really understand what makes apps like WhatsApp or apps like Line here in Taiwan or in Japan or apps like WeChat so exciting or so powerful. I think to a lot of Americans, SMS or text messages, it's bland, it's boring, it's simple. But when you consider that most people in other parts of the world, particularly in Europe and then also in Asia, for people in those parts of the world, text messaging costs money. And so apps like WhatsApp, apps like Line, apps like WeChat, making that free is actually really valuable. And when you consider how often we send text messages to each other, and when you consider how much time that we spend on our phones is taken up by mobile messaging, companies that take ownership of that real estate are in a very unique position to use that real estate for other purposes, for opportunities to make money, maybe through advertising or maybe through other services. And so that's why we see companies like Line in Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, companies or software apps like WeChat in China, when they own that real estate and then when they own the network of users, when they have everyone using those apps, then these companies, much like Facebook can monetize off of that big network, these companies and these apps they can monetize off of those networks too. So, just to answer the most basic part of your question, how are these companies monetizing? Line is monetizing primarily through game-related purchases and purchases of stickers, which are these sort of cute little graphics that you can use in conversations to make them more interesting. It's a sort of thing where I think a lot of North Americans look at these stickers and they think these are the ridiculous, and then once you start using them and buying them, I'll shamelessly admit I buy stickers all the time. They're really addictive and they're fun. And they cost about $1 per purchase. And Line is making a lot of money, a lot of revenue through selling those stickers and through game-related purchases. The gaming side, when Line will just sort of advertise its games or sort of keep its promotions for games very close to the screen real estate that you see for messaging, and so that'll kind of suck people in. WeChat is monetizing similar through, not so much through stickers, but through a lot of game purchases. But what we'll be seeing for both of these companies is more monetization on possibly e-commerce, right? So WeChat has been aggressively recruiting a lot of small and medium-sized brick and mortar stores, small and medium-sized websites, and then also big brands like, say, for example, Uniqlo, McDonald's, Starbucks. And they've been aggressively trying to get them to open up official accounts, which lead to opportunities for both marketing and also purchases of, say, an actual pair of jeans or an actual pair of coffee, or an actual cup of coffee. So I think that for both of these platforms, the immediate monetization opportunities are games and stickers, sort of virtual goods, then also marketing and promotion channels, much in the same way that Facebook monetizes. And then eventually it's going to be online to offline. Buying a cup of coffee, in-store payments, ordering a pair of jeans online, or for WeChat and then Line in Japan, both now let you book a cab, kind of like, it's sort of like there's a sort of local Uber that you can use. And again, the reason that they're able to do that is because they have these networks. Everyone who uses these apps devotes so much attention to them that they can have these monetization opportunities. WhatsApp has not done any of this. They've, if anything, they've remained really dogmatic the founders seem to have these principles where they don't like advertising, they don't like virtual goods. And then the founder sort of famously, reportedly, has this sticker that he keeps next to his desk where he wrote down, no games, no ads, no gimmicks. And they've made sort of half-hearted attempts to monetize through annual subscriptions, but they haven't really rolled that out aggressively. I think it's kind of been on a trial basis. So they really haven't monetized, period. And again, I think that the best explanation for that is because that was just a decision the company made.
Or do you think it's like they're Americans, they can just get unlimited VC and not have to make any money?
Yeah, I mean, it could be that. I think that but I mean, you mentioned it. It's a good point. I think that there's a different mentality between the way that WhatsApp has come up, and then even some of the North American analogs like Kik, for example. They come from a startup mentality, and they come from first world markets where it's okay to say, get users first, monetize later. Now, WeChat and Line, they also have gotten users first and are monetizing they're monetizing aggressively later, but these are massive companies that are in markets where it's on the one hand important to be free, but it's also important to make money quickly. And so, I think it's just kind of due to two different philosophies and two different approaches.
Mobilegeeks coverage of MWC 2015 is powered by ASUS.